So I'm starting off with my bundles. I have 3 bundles in the inches 16, 14, and 12, and I have an 12 closure, and I'm using the Spandex cap. It's very good for beginners because when it's time to line up your lace closure, this is very beginner friendly. That's why I like to recommend this. And whenever you it's time to line up your lace closure, you're going to place it between the 2 lines on the cap and just start going into sewing. Well, not really going into sewing because you want to make sure that it's keeping still for you. So I usually take like thumbtacks or tpins, whichever I have, and I'll hold it, use those to hold the closure in place while I sew it. But as you see, I'm taking the needle and thread and sewing down the right side of the closure. And when you sew down the closure, you want to make sure you actually sew down each side of the closure individually. Like, you don't want to use the same piece of thread to go all the way around the closure, because if something happened, like if it were to rip or anything, then your whole closure would be ruined. So I like to encourage people to do just like, sew the sides individually. Once I sew down that right side, I'm going to take and double knot the thread so that it's secure, it won't come loose, and I know that it's intact. And like I said, you want to complete the same task for the other 2 sides, and this will be your finished result. Everything's nice and tight and neat, and we're going to go ahead and go in with the 16-inch bundles and start to sew in that at the back. And be sure when you do this part, do not go through the spandex. Like, you go through the top layer of the cap, if that makes sense, but do not go all the way through to go through the spandex, because if you make the needle and thread go through the spandex, it will make the cap not have its flexibility, so it wouldn't be able to stretch onto your head. It'll be tight, very tight. So be sure to consider that when you're sewing. When you first start sewing, you want to take the needle, go into the weft, into the cap, and then pull through. So you want to stick it to the track, the weft of the track, into the cap, and then pull through. That's when you start. But once you could do that, then you just take the needle and go under the track through the cap and pull through. Because if you constantly go through the weft throughout the whole time, then you may start shedding, and you don't want that. Also, I'm double wefting the tracks, so I'm not cutting it single, because that also causes a lot of shedding as well. Now I'm going in with the 14-inch bundle, and I'm going to start exactly where I ended with the first bundle. Once I sew that in, I'm going to start off right where I ended, and I'm going to continue double wefting and continue to go into the U shape. You'll see once it get towards the end what I mean about the U shape, but you're gonna continue sewing until it forms like a U shape almost. And remember, when you start the track, like to add it on, you're gonna go through the weft, through the cap, and then pull through. But once you do that, then you go under the track through the cap and pull through. And this is once I have the second bundle sewn in. Now I'm going to go in with my 12-inch, which is the final bundle. I like my hair to look very full, so I try to fit all of my hair in as much as possible. And once you get close to the top where you're closing, I like to connect the track with the lace, if that makes sense. Like the end part of the lace, or the little round part of the lace closure, I connect that with the track of the bundle so that it could give it that closeness, because I don't want any spaces between my tracks. I like everything to be nice, close together, neat, as if it's really like a lace closure sewing. I want it to look as real as possible. So this is the finished result. You want to make sure you cut out the excess part of the cap and make sure you watch, cutting the thread. And this is the finished result. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.